What would you say is the most important thing to do when I truly want to manifest inner and outer abundance?
Um, this whole thing around manifestation is a bit misleading, I feel, because it is very much around you can focus what you want, you can focus the state that you want to be in, etc. And it's misleading because it feeds the narrative of basically being dependent on circumstances, on inner or outer circumstances. It feeds this thing around if my life is a success or a failure, if I'm a success or a failure. It kind of depends on the circumstances, and I disagree with that. And I feel like everybody who dives deep, deep, deep inside of oneself figures out like, no, there is a layer in me that's completely independent from outer circumstances. So this whole thing around if I manage to manifest, I don't know, the best life on earth and the best inner state, etc., then I kind of crack the code of the universe. No, I think there are way more important sciences to learn and way deeper and wiser approaches to life to learn. I mean, manifestation, like knowing how to manifest, it's huge, yes, but it's not the biggest thing. And so being a little bit cautious around, whoa, okay, now we talk about manifestation, and that's so important. I feel cautious about that. And then there is like, what's the most important thing? I could answer twofold. One thing is expanding your capacity for ecstasy slash reawakening the ecstatic conductivity in your nervous system, reawakening how you are born, which is a state of basically being open to just anything that flows through you and allowing everything flowing through you in a very blissful or even radically alive way. um, Reawakening that through whole body shaking, through really facing your shadows, facing what's scaring you, facing what triggers you, and not running, but allowing those waves of trigger or energy to flow through your nervous system while you are shaking, while you are dancing. Almost like a dancing prayer for the day, a dancing prayer for transmuting trigger energy or fear energy or energies from the past, something like that, I consider to be very, very useful. And the other thing is, in order to manifest more in the world in terms of inner and outer abundance, becoming more independent from inner and outer abundance, where I could put my finger on it. Like, I'm abundant because I have the best friend, la 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 la. And instead of that, like cultivating, almost leaning back and turning away from the world in order to be as intimate as I can possibly be with my inner experience just in this moment. And this is very simple. And also, like, practically speaking, it's very boring. It might be sitting there, closing your eyes and paying attention to your breath. So, okay, how much is there then special about the villa that you manifest that you are meditating in? You could meditate in a cave, you could meditate on the street. So it's like we are really breaking things down to what is a human life in its baseline, and not with all of this success or glamour around that you want to manifest. If you cultivate your ecstatic conductivity by whole body vibration, plus exhale after that, maybe exhaling and really sinking away from the world, or yeah, turning away from the world, becoming as intimate, as pure, as solely focused on maybe your breath or something like that, or your heart or your belly or whatever, then you create almost like a sucking motion towards the world. It's almost like you create a vortex or a vacuum, and you are sucking something from the world into this vacuum, into this vortex. And that, in many cases, if you manage to truly balance things out in your nervous system, regulate your nervous system in a very efficient way, in those waves of wave up and wave down and wave up and wave down. If you manage to do that, in many cases, the world is drawn into this vortex that you become, with expressions or surprises or dynamics or situations that match what you would have wanted to manifest otherwise anyway. So it's letting go and detaching from manifestation in itself and from what you want or wanted to manifest. And then in the state of, I don't need anything from anybody anymore. I don't need anything. In this state, it's almost like life is there. Okay, it's not your birthday. You just exist. You don't need something. I just give you some presents, just anyway, just out of fun. It's like life stands in front of our doorstep with these unopened gifts for us. And if we keep coming as prisoners or as beggars, it's like it doesn't like handing over those presents. But the moment that we are complete anyway, it almost like that opens the heart of life. And then all those aspects in one form or another can flow into our existence.
Thank you so much for being interested in global transformation. If you want to join a very special event, I have a free invitation for you. Once a month, I gather humans from all over the globe in a so-called shaking event. It's a very unique adventure where you dive into collective trauma regulation and global transformation together with humans from all over the world. So if you're curious about a physical adventure that truly goes into collective transformation, then you are welcome to join me and hundreds of other beings, and you find the link for your registration below this video.